I'm Sophie. I'm currently at Kechara Forest Retreat, Bentong, Malaysia. And today I'll be doing a sharing on anger, how to deal with anger. All of us have anger within us to a certain degree, which is dependent on our living experiences. When we are young, we may start learning anger when we don't get what we want. Think of the baby crying for milk, or crying to be clean, or crying to be cuddled, or remember that baby that keeps crying and crying for attention in the restaurant or in the airplane. Well, that is how anger is formed and it grows. The denial of something that we think we are entitled to. It could be material items, career advancements, status, fame, even your right of way, our right of way that we wish to win. And in ignorance, we allow the anger to build up in us. Although we may be passive, outwardly, but some of us have the anger simmering inside. And when the moment is right, you may just let the anger flare up uncontrolled. And just from one small thing, it could trigger, and the whole lot of anger just, that was stored within just erupts. And then afterwards, you may feel relief, but at the same time, you're really shocked, that you have such anger within you. And also, most of all, that poor person who had to face the brunt of your anger, the deep impression has already been made in that person's mind. The hurt, even if you have apologized, you can never erase the memory and that feeling, that the person felt. So I've actually, in my search, I found this, gem in my guru, His Eminence, the 25th Semtu Guru Rinpoche's blog, that I've felt, will help. Instead of focusing on anger, I was thinking, we counter anger with this: 5 ways to love more. Love being the antidote to anger or hatred. So the first of the 5 antidotes is let go of pain from the past. Let go of the people who have hurt you, and you shouldn't keep hurting yourself. Let go of the pain that you wish to hurt others as well. Don't wish the pain on others, because you've already felt it, so you should know, how much it hurts. So don't wish it upon others. And then let go of people who has abandoned you or did not help you. Let go of people who have cheated on you or had bad intentions. Let go of something that has been said to you that had hurt you, and something done to hurt you, so much that it make you lock up your love. Let go of people who have not loved you in the past, and those who cannot or will not love you, let go of them. So because the main thing is, they do not have power over you anymore. You are the one who has power over yourself. And so don't treat others negatively, even though you have been treated that way. And I don't know, it's like because when you look back, all those things are already in the past. So why do you still wish to carry the anger, which is from the past? It's a burden that you're carrying it, So just be in the present and live in the present. Don't let the past affect you. And once you can let go of that, you find that you have that so much capacity, to love others, to care for others and benefit others. And then number 2, prayer. Pray for yourself and pray for others, and pray for something that you've seen that affected you, like maybe that smile that somebody gave you, unconditionally, and maybe the help that somebody has given you, and those little things that most of the time we tend to overlook. just remember them. They were given to you, like without any conditions at all. So expand on that, and use that, as a basis that you pray, that you pray for yourself, pray for others. So because in prayer, you're sending good wishes, so it's a very nice feeling. And when you're focused on your prayer and benefiting others, then you have less time to focus on anger. Okay, and also when you pray, don't expect, don't put a condition, on your prayer. Just pray for the good of others, and because the Buddha loves us. They will not judge us. So it's something that we can release, in prayers. And also number 3 is unlock yourself. When we're born, the love is already there. So over time, from living experiences, we may suffer the pain, and as such, we will like build up more and more shell, over that love that is within. So, but the thing is, it has not disappeared. It's still within there. So as also like with number 2, always remember, those kind words, or the smile, or the actions of kindness, that others have shown you without any expectation. So you expand on that, and then you expand that to love yourself, because you do deserve it, and also to love others. It's not loving yourself, like about greed, not self-fulfillment. It's more of letting go of your fear, letting go of your anger, so that you have that room, that capacity to love others. In loving others, then you will not have that much time to spend on being sad or depressed, because the anger, when you hold it within you, it will build up, and then it may cause sickness within you. Scientifically, they have actually I think there are some studies that that shows that it correlates with your the sickness that you have. Okay, number 4 is give love to get love. So the more love that you give, the more release of love that you give to others, then the more happier you are. And then in being happy, you tend to generate that environment around you that is happy, and people would like to spend more time with you and to be with you. So as such, when you generate love to others, others too will also how do you say, also react with the same. It's not as in a romantic love, but it's more of kindness towards others, that companionship, or that friendship that you feel around you. And then the 5th is to show that you care. A lot of times, even though we care, but it's within, and we don't show it by action. So basically, this one is to say that show it by action, so that people know, and they will respond in kind. Then that way, you at the same time you feel good as well, because like just offer a smile to somebody. It doesn't cost anything. Have a kind word for somebody. Make them happier, and it really doesn't cost anything. At the same time, you yourself will feel happy, and once they are happy, then the whole environment will be happy. Don't don't be afraid to love, because when you do love, then you don't get hurt. You don't expect anything, and as such, you won't get hurt. And okay, so basically, love without any conditions, so that you don't carry any baggage, any memories of the past, or any expectations, or any wants. Just be free with that. And okay, here's a story that I would like to share with you. This one is one day Buddha was walking through a village. A very angry, rude young man came up and began insulting Buddha. "You have no right teaching others," he shouted. "You are as stupid as everyone else. You are nothing but a fake." So Buddha, was not upset by these insults. Instead, he asked the young man, "Tell me, if you buy a gift for someone and that person does not take it, whom does the gift belongs to?" The young man was surprised to be asked, such a strange question, and he answered, "It would belong to me because I bought the gift." And Buddha smiled and said, "That is correct. And it is exactly the same, with your anger. If you become angry with me and I do not get insulted, then the anger falls back on you. You are then the only one who becomes unhappy, not me. All that you have done is hurt yourself." See, if you want to stop hurting yourself, you must get rid of your anger and become loving instead. When you hate someone, you yourself become unhappy. But when you love others, everyone is happy. So don't allow anger to rule the way that you later may regret. Remember that it's actually easier to be patient and calm than it is to ask for forgiveness, from someone that you have hurt with your anger. So with that, I will end the session today. Let's see if there's any questions. Sorry, my phone is having some... Okay, from Pastor Adeline. What happened when we cannot control our anger on the smallest petty things we hold on to? For example, what people said about us, how we are treated, and etc. Well, usually if we do not control our anger, even at the smallest things, then of course we'll drive people away, and people would respond in kind that is they will not be around you. They do not want to be around you, and they would avoid you. And as such, well, for one, you may get even angrier, because then you will not understand why they start avoiding you, and at the same time you feel lonely. So it's not a good feeling, having anger within you. Okay, from Pastor Shin. How do we keep generating this love? What do you think? Basically, because when you are in, that love, that unconditional love, it's a very good feeling that you will get. So when you wish to continue having that feeling, then you would keep continuing being nice, being kind to others. And when people reciprocate, then you it still continues that feeling, that environment that you are in. Everybody likes to be in a nice environment. So as such, it'll be an encouragement for you to continue generating that. And from WTJC Go, but sometimes people take for granted. Yes, definitely. A lot of times people take for granted, especially when it's in family, because we're so familiar with each other that we just expect the family member, to take whatever that comes, because we're family. But actually, it's not a good way to think that, because since they are family, then all the more we should actually care for each other, not take out the anger with each other. So all the more we should practice with them, and then from them, we expand out and practice it on our friends and other people, And from Pastor Adeline, generally speaking, people do not reflect their own actions but blame others instead of looking at our own actions. Always blame others, and this is how anger arises. How to stop anger that arising for people like this? For people like this, actually, they need to realize, that it is from within them that the mistake is coming from them. It is the anger arise is because they do not acknowledge that they are wrong and they wish to be right. So as such, I guess initially you can point out to them in a nice way, but depending on the situation, then I don't know, I either you avoid them, or you, if based on good motivation, you can use a bit more of a roughful means to make them aware that they are actually wrong, and they should actually reflect on their own actions and their ways before that they make judgment that they are not wrong. And it's true, because the anger will build, and if they are aware, then at least they can catch it and understand where it's coming from. And from Joy, what is the mantra or practice we can do to counter anger? What kind of meditation does His Eminence Sam Rinpoche recommend us to do or contemplate on? There's a lot of mantra that we can do, especially like you can actually do like the Buddha's compassion mantra, which is Om Mani Padme Hum, or you can do the Tara's mantra, which is Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha, or you can actually do Manjushri mantra, which is Om Arapazanadi, because Manjushri mantra, once you gain, it's for wisdom, so then it will help you to realize where your anger is coming from. And there's the Doje Shukden's mantra, Om Benza Wiki Vitana Soha. That actually there's a lot. And then there's Rajat Sattva's mantra, which is to purify. And meditation, well, that one I have to find out which is the proper meditation to help us focus, to release on the anger. But I would say the best is actually the death meditation, because once you realize that everything ends at death, then what is the point of holding on? There's no point to hold on to the anger that you feel within you. It's only temporary, and it affects yourself and your mind frame, which you do not want to be in, because we are all looking for peace and for that to be out of suffering. So there's no point in holding on to it. So in death meditation, you realize that everything is impermanent. So there's no reason, to hold on to the anger. But once I find out more details on what is suitable for that, I would put it into the replies to your question. Okay. From JC Gong, some of the anger they do not express in anger form but in ignore form, so it affects people around too. Yes, it's true, they do, because anger, it comes in many forms, and especially I think it was like yesterday or 2 days ago, I read that actually crying is also, in sorrow also is another form of anger. So the anger is expressed in many forms because everybody has different characters. So ignoring is a form that it's more of passive type, that I guess it's in a way they're avoiding it as well. So they do not want to express the anger, so they choose to ignore. But it would be good if that person was to reflect, where does the anger arise from, and to work on it, rather than to keep it and avoid it. That way, it won't burst one day, when the conditions are right, How do we know that we have anger in us? All of us have anger because due to our living environment, our conditioning, because we still have that selfish needs that we wish to fulfill, and as such, when we don't get what we want, although we may not express it, sometimes our minds will be angry, and we keep it within us. So but once you meet with the Dharma, you know that it's not something that is good to keep, and we should work at it and understand why do we get angry. And most of the time it stems from our own pride and ego, that we feel that we are correct and we are entitled to it. So we need to just work on that, and over time, if we are not attached anymore, then we will not have the anger with us. Hi Punap. Okay, he was saying nice to hear. Well, thank you for watching, and Bhutan is a very nice place. Maybe one day, I'll have the opportunity to go there, or you have the opportunity to come here to Malaysia. Okay, from Chris. How do we communicate with those who constantly get angry when all we are trying to do is to help them and give them advice? How can we reach out to them? Okay, be kind, as in do not react to their anger, and just continue in that frame that that you wish to help them, and over time they will realize it. And but when you deliver your message is very important. How you deliver your message, your body language, the way that you deliver it, the words that you use. So just be aware also of yourself and how you reach out to them. And as such, if you continue on being, with good motivation and with kindness that you wish to help that person, over time I'm sure that person would be able to respond in kind. And from Valentina, if we are wrongly accused, how can we prevent the anger from arising in this case? Basically, anger arises is when our ego and pride is hurt. So if we are wrongly accused, is it that important that you need to be right? That's the first question you need to ask. I mean, if it's important, then do not react in anger, but try to see where the other person is coming from. And maybe when the moment has passed, you can approach that person, in without any anger, and to maybe ask, find out more. Why have you been accused of that? And maybe you could explain where you're coming from, and that you did not feel that you deserve what happened. So as such, you can work it out in a good way, rather than react or respond immediately. Okay, from Chris, what if wrathful ways had been used on them who has anger, but they still act the same, fighting back? Always blaming others for their own mistakes and constantly thinking the people around them are trying to hurt them or being unfair to them. For that, I would say that you do as best as you can, because I mean, there are some people who are, they have, from their experience, maybe they are tougher, to break through. But if you really do care, then you continue helping them, operate out from kindness, to help them. And actually, it's basically, treat them as you wish yourself to be treated. If it was you, would you like other people to help you? And would you like them to give up on you? That's the main thing, So don't give up. Just being kind and continue to help them in whatever ways that you think that you can. And from JC Go, if you found that the person did some kind immoral behind you and lying, how do you stop the anger arise? Okay. Definitely the anger will arise, but you do not respond to it. This is a bit difficult for me to answer, because I do not have the answer, but depending on that person, whether they are close to you or not. So this one is a good question for Ask the Pastor. Maybe you should go on Rinpoche's blog and go to the section where it says Ask the Pastor, and I think they would be in a better position to help you. So maybe later I'll leave the link on my Facebook, and you can actually present the question there. And your question, I'm sure that it will help a lot of other people too, who are in the same situation. So it will be a good question to put there to ask. Okay, from Joy. Okay, hi Sophie. Specifically, if I am not mistaken, for healing anger, the practice and mantra to counter anger would be Charanzik's Buddha of Compassion's mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, which you are right, but not so accurate with the rest that you mentioned. They serve a different purpose and countering different afflictions we have. Meditation, if I'm not mistaken, if to contemplate on the kindness of others, karma, cause and effect, and impermanence. Yes, that too. I will definitely look up more because I'm not sure, I'm not familiar with this, so I will look it up, and I will thank you for your what's that, answers. And from Chris, so you mean that it is fair for the person to keep lashing out on the person who is trying to help, and the person helping can only keep taking it until magically one day the angersome person can wake up and stop being angry? Are you being fair here? Well, this is our practice. If you are if you are practicing, then this is part of it, where we have to be patient, and the main thing of our practice is to be kind to others. So as such, now maybe it's also a good question for Ask the Pastor section, because I can't help you here. Of course, you're not fair. I mean, it's not fair for you to bear the brunt of it. But then, it is good practice that you be patient and be kind to that person, knowing that the person is in a state of suffering. So, well, I can't answer you with the correct reply. So let me find out the answers, and then I will get back to you. Okay, is there any more questions? You're welcome, Chris. But the thing is, sorry, I do not have the proper answer for you. Okay, it seems that there's no more questions. Okay, I'll end the session with completion dedication in Tibetan. And thank you for joining me today. Chang yu sen jo rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ge shi, ke pa nam pa me pa yang, gon ne gon du pe wa shu, to ni to wa rinpoche, ma ke pa nam ge shi, ke pa nam pa me pa yang, gon ne gon du pe wa shu, ta so ji ne sa pa ge wa di, tan tan ro wa gun na gam pa dang, je pa je su lo sun tra pa yi, tam ping in po rin du sa se shu, ke wa ku tu yan da la ma dan, dra mi chu ki pa na no chu ki, sa dam bang yi yak te ra zo ni, do je chang yi nga pa nga tu su, ke wa di yu da da, la ma sang yu dru ni, dru wa chi kya ma lu pa de sala go pa sho choki kya po sunga pa cho su nam pa pe wala ke ki sama si wadang tung ki malu sang wa sho dadam sungi du sundan dre wa songi la te ni ge wa lo san tra pa tam pa yo re va yu shi ni modele sendele ni mingu nyandele chi ni sin ta tu dele pa kun cho sungi jingi kun cho sungi ngo tru so kun cho sungi tra si sho je su nam ma ku sen rap ting ching nam ka tri ni cho chu ke pa da một sầm tem pe dro mi sập sung dro e mun sa ta tu ni yu shi gang we ra we ko we shin kam den ben dan de wa ma lu gu we ni cha ren zi wan ten si kya so yi sha pe shi de ba lu den yu shi om tom pe ngo tro ma lu pa den de da la sao du so ko dan den pa long chot na ke pa so ship shuk ten sao. Thank you. See you tomorrow.